Baduy. Pikukuh Baduy is a customary prohibition that guides the activities of these Baduy residents, which is based in the teachings of the Sundanese Wiwitan Baduy. The community does not change and does not violate everything in life that has been determined. All activities must be based on Baduy Sunda Wiwitan, the pillar of religion, Baduy pillar, which is a religion that engages the Wiwitan Sundanese, Nawalu, worships Nalaksa, Nalanjik, Napundayan and Nareksakyun Sasaka heritage. The traditional Puan leaders must adhere to the doctrine. Puan must be respected and followed by rules because Puan Segalan is a descendant of Batara. In Banten province there is a dynamic community with a very simple life depending mainly on rice cultivation and regardless of the times. Is a society that is very closed from the influence of foreign cultures, known as the Baduy Masyarakat, or the Baduy people. This community inhabits the slopes of the Kendang Mountains with an area of about 5,101.85 hectares. Administratively it is located in Kanix village, Luidamar district, Lebak Regency, Banten province. It is about 160 kilometers west of the metropolitan city of Jakarta. The name Bedouin was not originally from the Baduy people themselves. Residents of South Banten who have a Muslim religion, who are commonly called Baduy, a term for people who are not Kanix who are characterized by barefoot, no driving, and no formal schooling. Baduy people, both ethnicity, geography, history, language, also in their own recognition are Sundanese. To distinguish from other Sundanese people who live and from outside the Baduy area, they call themselves Sunda Wiwitan. The people who Awala or Wiwitan are Sundanese terms for Baduy. Understanding is not only limited to ethnicity or sub-ethnicity, but also includes geography, history, language, culture including customs and beliefs. The population of Baduy is 10,879 people, 5,465 men and 5,414 women, based on data from the Kanix village population census the 28th of February 2008. Judging from previous years, the demographics of population growth are fast from 1.79% per year. As a fast-growing citizen, changes in residential land territory are also expanding, continuing to develop. In Regional Regulation Number 23 of 2001 by position, inside and outside, residents take refuge. Administrative Baduy is divided into two, Baduy and Outer Baduy. The Baduy community, totaling 1,053 people, occupy the land inhabited by three villages, Chikuzik, Chikartawa and Sibayo. Baduy people, amounting to 9,826 people, occupy the land which is inhabited by 57 villages and 5 regions dividing the village. In the previous year, 2003 Baduy Luar was known that it only had 45 villages and 6 scenes. The Baduy government structure is divided into 3 groups, namely Tangtu, Penamping and Danka. However, there are only 2 groups often used by the general public, namely Baduy equivalent to Tangtu, and Urusan Baduy equivalent to Penamping and Danka. The Sundanese Wiwitan view of life, worldview, is guided by the Pikukuh, absolute customary rules. Pikukuh is the rules and how it should be, obligatory, to travel is mandated by the living ancestors, the ancestors. This is the orientation of the Pikukuh, the concept and religious activities of Baduy. Until now the Baduy Pikukuh has not changed anything, as embodied in the substitute great-great-great-great-grandfather as anything that violates the great-grandfather's Pikukuh is not codified in text, but the distribution of Pikukuh, absolute customary rules incarnate in Bedouin daily actions in interacting with each other, the natural environment and its god. The chaos of great-grandparents from the Baduy community, as follows. Bayut nu Datipkian ka Puan, great Bayut entrusted to Puan. Negara Satalungula Telu, 33 countries, Aristocrat Sawidik Lima, River 65, Panser Sala Negara, Middle 25 countries. Guging tu Munong Melabar, mountains do not have to be destroyed, Lebak tu Munong Daruksik, valleys must not be destroyed, prohibition of tu Munong is placed, prohibitions must not be violated, great-grandfather tu Munong Daroba, great-grandfather cannot be changed, Loyor tu Munong is cut, length cannot be cut, Pondik tu Munong connected, short for not connected, new lying on other kudu, other omitted. New act must be dulikan, others have to be considered differently, new enya must dienyakayan, which really must be justified, mipit kudu amit, taking must say goodbye, nala kudu menta, taking must ask. Engaduk chikor must mihacher, take kenker must inform you that you get. Nyokal ginger kudu mykarik, gouging ginger must tell, Najdag must be careful, shaking the tree so you have to tell it to roll first. Nyaur must be measured, speech must be measured. Nyabda must be written, said to be well thought out so it doesn't hurt. Do the talking sajado ghetto, don't talk carelessly. Act lemak sedake dake, not talking casually. Do malung borjingen, do not steal despite the shortage. Active jina papakangan, not fornication and dating, must ingadek sachekna, must cut down as needed, nilas saplasna, cutting as wide as possible. Consequence. Matak bird so queen, could fail to be leader. Matak insane so freaking out, can get crazy with nobility, Matak pupil influence, can lose influence, Matak hambar komara, can lose authority, Matak tu mahi jaridan, can lose a fight, Matak tu jaya war, can lose the war. Matak ella jajatan, can lose courage. Kasoktan ella I, can lose magic. Pikukuh Baduy is also realized in the existing institutions in the traditional Baduy institutions led by 3 Puan. The 3 top leaders come from 3 villages in the sacred Baduy, namely Sibayo, Chikuzik and Sakartawana, is of holy descent. Puan ancestors are obliged to preserve the earth and can cause Panzer residents to adhere to the customary provisions of the Pikukuh or absolute as a guide for behavior. In addition, the customary provisions that prohibit Baduy customs and ways of life are guidelines that must be followed properly. The contents of the Baduy customary prohibition are: it is forbidden to change the water in ways such as making fish ponds or drainage. It is prohibited to change the shape of the soil such as a well or level the ground. Do not enter the forest to cut down stored trees. Using chemical technology is prohibited. Prohibited from planting crops. It is prohibited to keep animals such as goats and buffalo with 4 legs. Do not farm carelessly. Careless clothing is prohibited. Proposal ancestors and great-grandparents Pikukuh ancestors of all Baduy people is done orally in the form of lectures in every traditional Ujran ceremony. Deliberative speech is the principle of Baduy. Sunda Wiwitan. Sunda Wiwitan, Sundanese. Early Sundanese, real Sundanese, or native Sundanese, is a belief system of traditional Sundanese religion. This culture glorifies the forces of nature and the spirit of the ancestors who were not animism and dynamism. Followers of this belief system can be found in several villages in West Java, such as Kanix, Lebak, Banten, Siptajalar Kasepahan Banten Kidal, Sisalak, Sukabumi, Kampung Naga, and Segugar, Kuningan Regency. In Karita Parayangan this faith is called Jatisunda. Practitioners affirm that Sunda Wiwitan has been a part of their way of life since ancient times, before the arrival of the monotheistic religion. The Sundanese Wiwitan holy book is called Sanghyang Siksakanda ng Karasian. It is a didactic text of religious and moral guidance, rules and lessons. This text is identified as Kropak 630 by the National Library of Indonesia. According to the Kokolot elders of Chikuzik village, the Kanix people are not Hindus or Buddhists. Their religion follows a system of belief that glorifies and respects ancestral spirits. However, during this time Sundanese Wiwitan has been influenced by and incorporated to some extent Islamic elements. The highest spiritual power in Sunda Wiwitan is Sanghyang Kursa, the powerful, or Nunar Sakyun, he who has the will. The highest is also called by several divine names or titles, such as Batara Tunggal, the One, Batara Jagat, Lord of the Universe, and Batara Sada Niskala Sanghyang Kursa are in the highest in ontology and the holiest belief system of the realm, called Wana Nyunkung. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Indra, Yama, were considered to be subordinates of Sanghyang Kursa. According to the Sundanese Wiwitan ontology, the universe consists of 3 realms. 1. Wana Nyunkung, the sharp realm, or peak realm, the very top realm, the highest residence of Sanghyang Kursa. 2. Wana Panka Tenga, the world Tenga, earth, the realm of humans and animals, with 5 cardinal directions: east, west, north, south, and center, zenith. 3. Wana Larang, the forbidden world, hell, the realm of demons and lower spirits, the lowest realm. Between Wana Nyunkung, natural peak, and Wana Panka Tenga, earth, there are 18 natural layers, arranged in descending order of holiness from top to bottom. At the top of this heaven is called Bumi Suki Alam Padang, or according to Kropak 630, Sanghyang Siksakanda ng Karasian, Alam Kayangan or Mandala Hyang. The highest of these 2 worlds is where Nyi Pahachi Sanghyang Asri and Sunan Ambu live. Sanghyang Kursa created 7 Batara in Sasaka Pusaka Wana, place on earth. The oldest of these Batara is called Batara Chikal and is considered the ancestor of the Kanaks people. Other Batara ruled various locations in Sundanese land. The Sundanese Wiwitan value system is based on internalized written and unwritten norms. Written norms are rules and taboos that govern the way of life of followers, while unwritten norms are internal and individual understanding of faith. The basic concepts and principles of Sunda Wiwitan are based on 2 things: human characteristics and Kara Siri Bangsa. These 2 principles were mentioned by Sundanese Wiwitan parents, but not explicitly mentioned in Siksakanda ing Karasian, the sacred text of Sundanese Wiwitan. The human way of character consists of the basic elements of human life. It consists of 5 fundamentals: compassion, love and affection, usik stepik, social and family structure, manners, order, behavior and rules of conduct, such as politeness and courteousness. Budi language and culture value system. Wiwaha Yuddha Narada. Yuddha, which means war or battle. This principle refers to the essential human characteristic of always being alert or suspicious of foreign or unknown influences. This reflects inherent conservatism and resistance to changes in traditional village life. This implies that non-traditional influences must be rejected.